Hello squaddies, this is Chain Dog. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My reasons for making this video are twofold. My primary objective is to share my control setup with you, as well as having a video record of the setup until Gaijin sorts out the backup. Another reason is the fact that I have had a few comments from within the squad about how the heck is it you can fly realistic and simulator using a DS4 control and just flying primarily cockpit view. One thing I'd like to point out is that this setup is a derivative work based on a pinned post in the PS4 discussion forum posted by Black Death, where he discusses his sim control layout for the DS4, as well as varying discussions I've had with squad members over the last few months. Now today I'm going to be concerning myself with flight controls. When I'm doing my flight controls, I always use realistic controls no matter what game mode that I am playing, and you may or may not realise this, but flicking through these will quite seriously affect the flight dynamics of your aircraft. Mouse aim and simplified controls being the easiest for the layman to be able to master. Realistic controls and full real controls, of course, those controls which are for the more experienced players or those looking to throw themselves in a more immersive flight simulator experience. And you may see from the first page here we've already got some differences in how the guns are actually set up. So the small caliber guns are set to R2, with a large caliber guns and additional guns I have got set to X button and R2. What that allows you to do is it uses the pressure sensitivity of the trigger button to fire your small caliber guns at half depression and your small caliber guns plus your large caliber guns or additional guns at full depression. Now you also notice that I've actually got drop bomb and fire rocket set to the one button, the R1 button. Your Shraj cannons, R1 plus R2. Now once you've set that, it sets the cannons, and then to switch back to your normal cannons, then you L1 R2 again. The cockpit lighting is something I've only recently assigned and is something that I haven't played around with much, so up to you if you want to actually assign anything for that. Your throttle axis is right stick up down. Now that's default. In terms of editing the axis, that is what I have set there now. Roll axis I've got on the same as my on the same stick as my pitch, but there it is there for your perusal anyway. Roll sensitivity I've got set to 25%. The pitch axis there again, pretty straightforward. Pitch sensitivity I've got it right down. Your axis settings are assigned such. Yeah. Your sensitivity again is quite a low setting at 5%. Force feedback multiplier, don't worry about that. Control, aim control sensitivity, aim sensitivity. Now I don't know which one this also affects tanks, but one of these, if not both, actually affects the turret rotation of your tank too. So it's something which I hope that Gaijin will actually be looking into and trying to fix. But in the meantime, what I've done is I've set them both to around about 60%, so it gives me a nice smooth aim control sensitivity for my aircraft, as well as having a reasonable tail rotation in my tanks. Gun and view sensitivity 30%. Now you may want that a little bit higher or lower. That all comes down to preference there. Toggle flaps right button. Now flaps down is right button plus L1 button. Now the reason why I've got it set up like this is so I can actually toggle between my combat flaps, my takeoff flaps, and also my landing flaps mid-flight. And that's the first page. Okay, now we get to the reason why I have removed rockets from the L1 button, and we find this in view controls. Now bear in mind that these controls are also applicable to your tanks, so when you're setting them up you want to bear that in mind. For free looking, I have set to L1 plus right stick. Now the reason why I've done this is the same reason why I've set all my controls up the way that I have. My main aim is to be able to control an aircraft and use its various controls without having to remove my thumbs off the thumbsticks too often. And then the zoom axis, which is the axis I use for sitting back in the cockpit, so you've got a better view of your cockpit dashboard. And so on to the final page. Now there isn't much to show here, so the last thing that I want to show you is under full aerodynamics, and that's for aircraft trim. This is vitally important if you're using the DS4 and you're flying simulator. While not all aircraft will have rudder, elevator, and or aileron trim, it is still a great asset to you to have it set in this fashion, to be able to fly a more stable platform in the simulator battle mode. So as you can see, I've got trim aircraft set to down button and X, and reset trimming to down button and circle. And I do find that once I get to altitude, to optimum altitude for my aircraft, that I can actually reset the trim and it flies fairly stably. Otherwise I reset it and then I set the trim once again at the new level at which I'm flying. I also have a tendency to use it when I'm diving on targets. I will have the elevator trim set slightly below 0 degrees, and so I can cut my throttle back and drift into the target at a nice angle, nice stable angle. So I hope that is of some help to you, my friends. Good luck, and if you can't be good at it.